Next is from some Gondo Chanko. How many times has he been suspended? Who's been suspended more than anybody in the mailbag? Joe, who'd you think?
Man, I don't know. It's
Didn't,
it's
that,
you know Anthony
didn't we have a
Hunt.
guy? Right.
Anthony Hunt gets it. Yeah, I'm not sure really.
I'm
It's
thinking some Gondo Chanko's
Jared.
been.
Jared has Chonko's been. Um, some of those silly fall vampires been. Some of those silly name guys have been. Yeah,
All right. So next, so some guys with Shanto is,
Mike Holder,
yeah,
Mike Durbin.
yeah, he's holders. Next is from the subject is who is the real draw. Hey K100 girl, take the hit this week. I know it's 2 emails, but it's a valid point that I felt needed to be made. As you may or may not be aware, Seth Rollins, but you're suspended by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins defended his belt against Braun Breaker in NXT. The show averaged 773K, which is the highest in 3 years, and the main event drew 950,000, which is higher than most Dynamite main events in the past year. A lot of the credit obviously goes to Seth, but I think Braun Breaker deserves a lot of credit too, because it shows that people want to see that matchup and believe he was a credible challenger. However, the real question is, does this prove that Seth Rollins is a draw for the WWE, and is this also an indictment on the star powered AEW television? Roman and the Bloodline have had 3 million and 2.8 million for the last 2 segments. Now this for NXT by Seth and Braun. Seems like the WWE is doing a much better job building stars currently. Yes, they are, because they are doing episodic storytelling that we talk about every week. And the Bloodline angles draw when the storyline reaches inflection points where it's a big moment and you want to see what happens. And that's how you do this. And it's like so simple that you would think that AEW sees these formulas and starts building their TV like that. So and I don't know. Yeah, they are huge stars. Seth is, we were down on Seth Rollins for a very long time on the show, and then all of a sudden we noticed he started dressing outlandishly and acting like the Joker, and he became a compelling character, and just he was doing more interesting television. And it's just, bro, we're a good gauge of the highs and lows of professional wrestling. Like we can see where positives are trending, and we can see where negatives are trending. And we talk about it every week, and we usually get when we see the negative trends popping up. People look at us like we're haters. Like, no, dude, I'm telling you, especially when you watch these shows every week, Konnan. Like we have to watch the shows, right, to comment on them. And you can just to me, it's kind of clear when we see where the trends are going, and we kind of agree on them most of the time. Like we'll very rarely disagree because I mean, how often are we
the thing
right?
is that most fans, just like you said, if I wouldn't listened to Dutch and Jeff, I wouldn't even thought of that, right? A lot of fans don't even know what they're looking for. They don't even know where the real, gaps are. Some are very evident. I mean, it's just wrestling 101. Come on.
Right.
Because you see them writing it on Twitter and you're like, he's got a point. But there's a lot of stuff. We have a more clinical eye because of all the years we were in the business and behind the scenes and stuff that there's no way fans can know, even if they think they know everything from reading it on the sheets. There's just a lot of stuff you still don't know. You just got to be in the business.
I don't think the fans realize, from a production, because we've been we know how a show should be produced and how it's segmented. Like you've started using techniques the way WWE shoots run-ins. You started mimicking that on your show because it's better television. It's a better moment on the TV, right? So there'll be things like when we watch AEW. This to me is like the perfect example. Is there was a spot in the back where a guy tasered another wrestler, like he tasered him. And the wrestler boom sold. And instead of selling it, you go to the announcers and they're going, "Oh my God!" They just went right. They cut and went right to the.
They went to another segment like nothing happened. And didn't put her over. Yeah.
So you had an element of storytelling, like a guy just tasered a guy, and that would probably be a big moment, and you treated it like it was just another second on the show. You know what I'm saying? So we see things like that, and it's like, dude, they may think they're telling good stories, but you're not telling the story. You're just showing. It's like reading a book, and if you're reading a book and you just randomly what do you call redactions? It's like half the pages are redacted. It's like that's bro. The WWE is storytelling with full pages. They tell a complete story, and AEW tells stories with redactions, and you can see it affects their
and half of problem is they're a victim of their own, just of having so many wrestlers that they're trying to get so many people on that everything's rushed, including when Excalibur goes over the matches.
Right. exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
in the last 2 or 3 weeks, the finish has felt rushed because probably another segment went too long or they had too many on there, you know?
yeah.